What is up, Isaac? How are you?
Howdy, guys. Hey, I'm good. We got two for tonight from your end.
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
double Gutowskis
that's
here.
right.
It's a 2 serving of Gutowskis.
Aaron, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You
Yeah,
have
so
definitely been
Erin's
a
here.
topic of the show before, so both of
Nice.
our wives have.
Yeah, now she's coming on to defend herself. No,
Well,
we're so Erin's on. We're going to be talking about Tantrum Con in this episode. We actually just got back from Tantrum Con last night, and so it was a lot of fun. It was really, really good. So we'll be talking about that, and we're talking primarily about our shelf of shame. So
Or opportunity.
Shelf of opportunity, shelf
Yep.
of shame, whatever you want to call it. So I think so. I've got my shelf of opportunity is probably about 12 deep, maybe 15. I feel like I could actually knock that out this year.
yeah,
So
we could try.
yeah. So
I
don't
feel like
know.
they're kind of scattered on different shelves, though.
Oh yeah. No, there's not a single shelf
Shelf,
for it.
yeah.
Yeah. They're hidden. They're hidden so that the shame doesn't
That's right.
beat my face.
I have
every
one
day.
section on Acalix that's like review. It's actually behind these that are like
Mhm.
review copies I just haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah.
Along with like this huge pile on the floor over here, no one needs to see.
That's
So-
We know all
There's
about
a
games
pile.
on the floor.
There's a pile.
All
There's a
about
pile.
yeah.
We have, so I was going to put one on there, but it's only 2 months old. So I don't feel like that's
Not
a shameful
quite.
thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not quite
So,
shame. Just a
yeah,
little,
so-
a little embarrassed, not
Yeah.
shame.
Yeah.
It'll be on there next year. When we do this again next
Maybe not.
February, March, I'll just bring it up. So
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you had a first question for us tonight, talking about what game rule did you get wrong over and over? Like, so I think you're
Yeah.
getting at, was there a game you played and then at some point you realized, oh my gosh, I've been playing that wrong this whole time.
Yeah. So I thought this was interesting because we're talking about shame. What's the game rule that you sat there and you were like, you played it like this, and then somebody was like, that's not how that goes, right? So I thought that would be interesting.
Yeah.
So mine actually comes with Clank. So I played Clank. I had played Quest for El Dorado prior to Clank, and I had played a lot of other deck builders. I thought, because I had played Quest for El Dorado and Clank so close together, I got the rule mixed up where you could hold back some cards. So the first 4 plays of Clank,
Yeah, at least.
yeah, I was holding back my Clank in my hand and just using 3 cards, and I was like, it's not that bad. And so completely didn't realize
And
that
of
you're
course,
supposed
I
to.
didn't read the rule book. I just
Yeah.
went along with
Yeah.
what you thought.
So I ended up not playing that right for about 4 times, and and then,
And then we
I think
learned.
it was Bob. Bob was like, "How are you holding those cards?"
Like, what
I
are you
was like,
doing?
"Oh,
Yes.
you have to play all 5 cards at the same." Oh,
Oh,
my
okay.
bad. So
We got Tantrum House in the house here.
what is up, Tantrum House? We're
Nice.
talking about Tantrum Con tonight in
Yes,
just
we
a
are.
few minutes.
Mhm.
So we had such a good time.
We had a blast. It was great.
So it's interesting. I've learned games wrong because I relied on somebody else to teach me, and then realized after, like Azul is one that I learned completely wrong from somebody, and then learned after. But to what you're saying, I've played where I've handicapped myself in a game, not paying attention.
Yeah.
And Scythe, the first half a dozen times I played Scythe, I thought as you move the pawn along the different action selection on your board, that you have to go 1 space left or 1 space right, instead of just pick it up and put it wherever you want. That was a huge difference. And my wife, when we learned Three Sisters just this weekend, she thought it was plant 2 or water 2. And she was just watering 2 at a time. She still beat us all, even with just watering 2. So
wow,
it's,
that's
interesting.
impressive.
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
So
Yeah.
I
there's
just
definitely
realized we
some-
had the wrong background on the show, so I just
What?
changed that. Sorry.
for the around the
wrong background.
Oh, well.
I don't know what it was. Oh, I have to go back.
I
and
didn't
look.
catch it.
Anyway,
I
so
missed it. Uh-oh.
Justin Gibbons says I threw a tantrum that I couldn't go to Tantrum Con. Still counts. Still
That's
counts.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have loved to have gone. We talked about. I talked about maybe coming down and checking it out. Just didn't fit with other things going on for us and our family. But when we talk about like what Tantrum Con is, so I think people know Tantrum House, but like, what? Give me an idea. Like, what is Tantrum Con for those that have no idea?
Erin actually had a rules mistake that she.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Erin. I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't
that's
jump you.
fine.
I didn't put it on the sheet, so
Oh.
because we had just talked about it.
So actually, I love this game called On the Rocks.
Oh yeah.
Up there.
Well, I don't
Awesome.
know if you
Yeah,
can really
yeah.
see it. Yeah, it's up there. And so the first few times that we played, we thought when you drop the little colorful balls into the little cups, that whatever cup you landed on, you put your last marble in, you had to take that cup.
Yeah.
Which made the game so much harder than what
Yeah.
it actually is. And we played it that way about what?
Two or three
times.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who it was.
I looked in the rule book for something else.
Yeah.
I said, I want to check that just to make sure, because like I was, I don't know. It was really weird. Like every time I would go around, I would like count it out first. And I'm like, okay, if I land in this cup, that's the right thing. But I really wish I could have gotten one more. And we just
made
much
our
harder.
turns so much longer because we were trying to count out where we wanted it to land.
Yeah.
So
added a good 30 minutes to the game.
Yeah.
So.
Made it a lot more fun when we figured that rule out.
Yeah. Shout out to Mervin on YouTube.
Hey, Mervin.
Mervin, what's up?
Yeah. So Tantrum Con.
Tantrum Con.
So give me an idea, kind of gross overview. What is it? Where is it?
Yeah. So this time it was in North Carolina. It's been in South Carolina previously. We actually went 2020, the best con of 2020. We always say not the only con of 2020.
Yeah.
But Tantrum Con was in North Carolina this time in Charlotte to be closer to the airport. I believe that was a majority of the reason. But anyway, it's basically a family gaming con. I mean, it is such a family-friendly atmosphere. It is, it's great because like our kids, I feel like this and Southern Fried have the same feel where like your entire family can go, you can have fun, you can have a good time, and there's something for everyone there.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And the variety of games, I mean, they have a great library. You can definitely find whatever in fact, I only went to the library one time because I was playing play to win games. I was playing stuff from my bag. I was learning new stuff from other people that they had just picked up or purchased. And there were probably, I don't know how many vendors. You had a couple Keymaster, of course. You had 25th Century, Smirk and Dagger,
Nice.
Like you had a couple there. And then Queen Games had some space, but anyway, there were some vendors that had some really nice jewelry and nerdy, geeky stuff. Always an awesome.
On a personal note, I really liked. It was really laid back and kind of intimate, and not overwhelming. And as a person who can sometimes get easily overwhelmed by lots and lots of people, it just made it more enjoyable for me. And I know that there are other people out there like that. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah. Got a lot of gaming in. So
awesome. It was a really good weekend. Yep.
Yeah, not every con needs to be Origins or PAX, right?
That's all right.
We need the ones where you can just chill out, play some games, and I understand some of those like Dice Tower West, and some of those have that kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Hey, there's my partner in crime, Stuart, joining us.
Stuart.
So what did you play new? Did you play anything that was new to you when you were there?
Yeah, so we played a couple. We taught a couple things. What was one that you really enjoyed?
Yesterday, actually, we played this game called Dinner in Paris, where you're trying to build out little cafes, like different types of cafes, and you're trying to build a terrace in front of it. So it's an area control game. And that was a lot of fun. A lot of strategy was involved in that, but it wasn't too difficult to learn. I think that's actually one that we're probably going to purchase.
Yeah, so I think Funny Fox was the game company.
Right.
I think that's what it was. I had seen the box cover for it, but I don't think I've ever seen it played. And so there's these really cool plastic cafe minis, and you put them around the outside of the board. You're putting them out there. You're installing them. It's really, really cool. And the terrace pieces, you're taking little cardboard chits off of your inlaid board and putting them onto the table, into the middle of the board. And it's so
and there are different
good.
gold cards. So you get extra points for building around a flower flower bed. I can't think of it. Flower bed, and building around the band that's playing, and landing on pigeons, and it was a lot of fun.
It was. And we tried different types of things as we went along. Like sometimes we were doing like collecting pigeons because they give us bonuses, and then we were trying I know we were playing with Joe Chambers out of Atlanta. Shout out to Joe. Joe went with buying the biggest, baddest restaurants and throwing them down and then building. I went with making small fry stands and trying to build terraces off of the small fry stands to gain area. So it was really good. So
nice. Ryan,
shout out to Lisa, who said Tantrum Con, everyone's friendly. Yes.
Anything stand out for you, Ryan, game
Rolling Heights, man. AEG. So as it usually happens, I tried the game 2 days after the Kickstarter closed. AEG had Rolling Heights on Kickstarter for the month of February, for the majority of the month, I think. And I knew what it was about, but I guess it didn't click with me that it was like city building and resource management and all these collection points. It is really, 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 really good. Like,
there are a lot of
really
layers to it. But I think it'll be fun to play over and over again.
Yeah. I think the only issue that I had with Rolling Heights is that it is very easy to knock your thumb into a pile of a tower of little stacked Lego looking pieces and knock them over.
Because they don't snap or connect in any way. They're just sort of laying on top of each other. So Ryan had these two towers that I knocked over those towers. We rebuilt them. He knocked over those towers, and then somebody else knocked over those towers.
Anytime you get, And actually, Kevin actually showed us how to, the hidden dexterity game. Kevin was the one from Tantrum House who showed us how to, he had the prototype with him, and he was able to show us, which was so much fun.
Yes.
Shout out to the Smiths over at Family Gamers in the chat. So but it was, Rolling Heights was really good. It was far better than I had expected, and I didn't pay attention to that Kickstarter campaign, and I wish I had. But I will definitely get that reach out.
So. All right. So Tantrum Con, you mentioned it's a family con. Right? It's a family-friendly con. So for families that maybe are thinking about it as we're looking at it next year, like what made it family-friendly? What are the, like, oh, our kids really liked this, or this really stood out for the family experience?
So for the younger kids, they actually had a room for kids games. I think Haba sponsored that room. So they actually had one for younger gamers. They have Giant Catan, and they had a copy of Giant Ticket to Ride out in the hallways. So people
and
were
there
playing
were always
those.
Kids and families out there playing those games, or in the gaming room for smaller kids.
It was really easy to find a group of kids playing like a social deduction game at the tables and stuff like that. And so I think it's really encouraging. You've got these kids playing coup at one table, and then 2 tables away, somebody's immersed in a 3-hour game of Rising Sun, So
I will say it's pretty cool too, because like signing up for the tournaments, our son is 16, and so he signed up for a Skull King tournament because he's really good at Skull King, and he would really, we thought he would really enjoy that. Anyway, he's sitting at the table, and of course he's the youngest one at the table. Everybody else is, a good bit older than him. But I love seeing people of different ages that, don't know each other sitting at one table together.
Absolutely.
So that was a lot.
Which I think that's why our channels exist.
Yeah.
That's why you guys do what you do at Gaming with Sidekicks, and that's why the family gamers do what they do, and Tantrum House and us. I mean, we want to see that multi-generational gaming, and Tantrum Con was a really good space for it. Yeah. So
definitely.
That's awesome. It's awesome. Let's talk. One of my favorite things at conventions is the eats, right? The food. Did you have some? I saw one picture of there was a food event like at the con.
Yes. So when you put that question on there, I was like, well, he definitely picked a disappointing question. So there are what they call tournameals.
Okay.
And they're put together. So how you do this is when you register, these are set up like events through Tantrum Con. So if you want to go to this roll and write event where they're serving pizza, you sign up for it and you pay for the meal. Okay. And they have a space set up. It's really nice. They do an excellent job with it. This year on Friday night, they had Grant Lyon, who came on the show in last April to come on our April Fool's show last April here. Grant was hysterical.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
So
and
funny.
So 25th Century actually, Chad Elkins over 25th Century actually ran that one. And so he sponsored it and gave everybody a copy of Sunny Day Sardines and taught the game. So people played it at the table after they ate dinner. The dinner smelled amazing.
The reason that it's disappointing and the reason that the dinner smelled amazing is because we didn't plan properly. So by the time we went to get tickets, it was sold out. So we were able to do some media and film, but the food looked and smelled great. So they did a really good job with the food.
So definitely get on the food early.
That's it. Yeah.
And so I know they last in 2020 Winter Chicken Dinner was coming out. And so what they did was they Chad went with a winter chicken dinner tourna meal. You had chicken fingers and fries or a salad, I believe. And so you sat at a table of 5 and whoever won that game of winter chicken dinner took home a copy of it. And that's kind of how those work. It's really good. That is the positives about the food. The negatives about the food is we are spoiled by Origins and even PAX and even some of the things in Atlanta where you can walk and get some great food.
Yeah.
That did not exist in Charlotte.
And it was just the location. Where it was.
It was kind of rough
food options
from that perspective.
So Uber Eats is where you got to go, right?
We ended up ordering pizza one night from a pizza place called Jets. Really good.
It's really good.
Like it was really good pizza. But it was 14, 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
You're not walking any place to get anything.
Yeah.
So, I got you. I got you. So we talked about the games. We talked about kind of the food. You mentioned the tournaments, but there's a big tradition tournament, right? That happens at the Tantrum Con that involves tables and
table
flipping. So what is that? I know I've seen pictures and video. What is that?
Yeah, so in 2020, Bob and I were actually part of the table flipping. Chad actually was one of the table flippers also. So
and you were dressed up as pirates.
We dressed up as futuristic pirates.
That's awesome.
But it's one of those things where like it's so ridiculous how a table flip and you can look on our Instagram or our Facebook page and see it. How a table flip goes is they put the sponsors game on the table boxed up and they have to rip the top off and set the game up to the best of their ability
as fast as they
can. And then they call time. And then they look at their table and everybody votes for which table was the best dressed table pretty much. And then they get a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and they both flip the table.
And I mean, flip it high, flip it far, everything goes everywhere.
These are lightweight portable tables that are getting chucked. So it's a lot of fun, and
it is fun.
Pieces are everywhere. There's always, I think, Race for the Galaxy was the year in 2020, and then this year it was Maglev Metro. So tons of little pieces and little acrylic tiles everywhere. So
that's awesome. It's awesome.
A lot of fun.
So so we talked about the games, the food, the experience overall, right?
Yeah.
Anything else that stood out as a favorite part? You mentioned Grant. I'd love to see Grant do live comedy like that.
Grant's so good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So he told me he's coming to Atlanta to do a comedy club in March, and so we got to figure out if we can make that happen. It's during a busy week, but
it's really cool because when he did his show at Tantrum Con, it was very specific to the board gaming community. And so he has regular comedy that he does that doesn't have anything to do with that, but this whole show had to do with just what it's like to be a part of the board gaming community. And so there were a lot of inside jokes that you would get if you are a part of that community. And it was really funny. And
it's funny because the audience talked back, because it was small enough where the audience talked back and like kind of ribbed him when he said certain things. And so he talked about the hatred for Monopoly, and he talked about his dad. And it's so funny because he talked about his dad not liking games, and one of the bits they did was talking about how he tried to set him up with what was it, Jackbox during the holidays, and it was just a disaster. And I could so relate to that because my dad, like, he looks like he's in excruciating pain when he's playing a new game, or
even when he passes by the table where we're playing a game. He said, like, he'll just say, that looks terrible. That looks terrible.
So I could definitely relate to that.
And another little bit he talked about was how you introduce your friends to games for the first time. And he talked about not bringing out Root as one of your first games to introduce them to. So that was really funny.
Yeah, that feels like a bad idea. Awesome. Well, any other final thoughts on Tantrum Con?
Yeah, just shout out to Tantrum House for putting together an amazing con. I know it takes a lot of work. I mean, all these people have day jobs. I mean, it's not like they're just sitting around all year just to do this. I mean, they all have day jobs. They're all reviewing and doing stuff in their off time, and they put together a great con.
And they were teaching games the whole time to people. The whole time they were taking turns and teaching games all the time, and that was just, to me, just considerate and thoughtful. You know, just to teach people new games like that. So,
and also, you'll be happy to know Green Team Wins got to the table every night. So it was a lot of fun seeing it. Yeah, that's the game, and seeing the prototype in a box was real nice
with all the different colors. And
it looks awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks.
And having an actual like board you can write on, and having being able to keep track of your score instead of taking little tokens. It was great.
Yeah, we had a really good time. Lots of people got introduced to that one. So
awesome, man! I know we've beating that horse, but man, I'm so excited for that game to come out. Like I'm so ready.
Word on the street is that if you're at Southern Fried Gaming Expo this summer in July, there might be something really cool going on with Green Team. So
nice.
Ooh, sounds like a blast. Yes. All right, well that's our tantrum chat. We need
tantrum chat.
Yeah, we need to get some of those guys on. Get Kevin on. Get Meadows on. Get somebody to join us for one of these nights. But but we did want to also talk, like you said, about games that are sitting on our shelf of shame, shelf of opportunity. And you mentioned what game sat on your shelf for a while, and then you finally got a chance to play it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I should have been playing this for much longer. Like what fits that realm for you?
So Orleans is one of those games that everybody has in their top 10. It's actually one of your favorite games, right? So it's number one. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So I've heard Orleans all these years and never taken the time to play it. I've seen it. I've seen people playing it. I've watched it, but I never took time to play it. And so Bob introduced me to it last summer, and got to play it two times in a week. Fell in love with it, had a great time. And so that was one that I wish it hadn't taken me so long to play that one. So, yeah. Awesome. I didn't ask you, do you have a game that you wish you didn't wait so long to play? Can you think of one?
I'm sure I do, but
nothing
comes to mind right now. I'll shout it out later if it does.
Yeah.
Actually, I had one written down on here, but as I'm looking at the pile of games over there, and I didn't see one on top. I've been playing a lot of BGA stuff with Bob, with assorted goofballs in the evening. And one of the things I got introduced
Simon
by them, Simon, was the game No Thanks. And playing No Thanks, I'm like, oh my gosh, why haven't I been playing this game like for years? Right? Like it's so good. It's so much fun.
I'm so bad at it. I think I played with you I'm so bad at that
yeah.
game, man. So
Well, I've been on this kick for like those small box games that play like that 4 to 10 range that are con friendly. Bob's kind of got me on that with Colorado.
Yep.
No thanks. We've been playing Six Nimit recently a lot
Yep.
online and local. I taught a group of 8 people that's chaos on the table.
Nice.
But like those are the kind of games. Ink and Gold I just recently learned. I'm like, man, I
Yep.
should have been playing these games a long time ago. So
yeah.
I'm fleshing out that small box.
Fuji Flush. You played it at Origins for the first time.
That's another great example.
And if you find a copy of Colorado, send it to Erin.
Yes,
she's been looking for that.
Yeah,
and she can't find it anywhere. So
I think Derek ended up buying one after we learned it at PAX.
We need to
see where he
find.
got it.
Yeah, we need to find out.
I'm not sure where he got it.
We can't find a copy. So,
yeah.
Erin, you Can't Stop. I think Can't Stop would be your wish you had played it sooner.
Yeah. Well, I've never even played the physical copy of Can't Stop. I've only played it on BTA. And so,
but that's been around a long time.
Yeah. And I've heard you guys talk about it for a while, but I've just never played it, never thought to play it. But once I played it, it is addictive. You can't stop.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Can't stop.
But it is addictive for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Pringles.
I was responding to Stuart. He said I was losing my mind that you were saying you had never played.
So it was sad because like I sat there and I was like, man, I really need to play this. I told Bob and Bob was like, yeah, let's play it. I played it. And then I wanted to play it 2 days later. I invited a friend of ours who games from time to time, and he came over and he fell in love with it. And then it was real good. So
yeah, it was my Grail game for an extended amount of time because I wanted the deluxe copy, and finding the deluxe copy was impossible. And so I ended up just scouring eBay, and there's this one little icon, it's about the size of a quarter, on the back of the box that says Deluxeified Edition. There's no other way to designate it. So I was looking for pictures that had the Deluxeified, even if it was mentioned or not. And I ended up finding it eventually, and at like regular price. The guy, I said, is this sealed? Is this your actual picture? He's like, yes. I was like, I'll take it. And I personally love the wooden pieces. I think that's what Stuart's asking. The upgrade is the BGG tokens, right? The
little plastic ones. Yep,
they're fine, but I love the wood style and setup of the original. So, But if you can't get that, got to do the geek bits. To get the chunky pieces in the bag.
It's awesome. So let's talk about our shelf of shame. So we have, of course, like most people, we've got games that sit there and you look at them and you're like, I'll get to you eventually, and then they get pushed back a little further, and then they eventually just haunt us in our dreams. So what's your number 5? We're giving 5, and you know what? I think that we should try to make it a priority to get these 5 knocked off of our shelf
before we die. Oh, yes.
Before we die.
By the end of
By
the
end of the year.
By the end of the year.
I thought you were going to say.
Does that feel doable?
I'm looking.
We can maybe check in.
We'll see.
Okay,
March
I could definitely do at least
tomorrow.
like 3 of these.
Okay, we'll check in. We'll check in this summer and see where we're at.
We have a gaming weekend with some buddies this weekend, so maybe I'll just drag them all with me. We'll see.
Hey, Erin, I'm going to a gaming weekend in Ohio. I just found out about it. So
please come. It's for JT's 40th birthday. We got Stuart's coming. He's flying in from Texas, so we're just
40th birthday was a gaming. Erin threw me a 12-hour. It's a 12-hour game day. Her and another one of our friends made all the food for it. We had subs for lunch. We had lasagna and salad for dinner, and we just gamed all day. It was so good. Best 40th birthday ever.
That's awesome. Yeah, we did that for my wife. Threw mine as a surprise party. I thought we were just going to hang out with a couple of families that we normally hang out with, and I got there and there was like 50 people, and there was just games and food everywhere. That's
so cool.
It was perfect.
Awesome.
So my number 5 is a 1999 release. I have not had it that long.
Okay.
But I have had this sit on my shelf for a few years because it was a 2-player game. I've heard good things, and I've just never taken the time to crack it open. It's still in plastic.
Lost Cities. Yeah.
Is this one you guys have played?
Yes, we played that at a cafe driving up to Origins.
Yeah.
With Bob. Yep.
This is one of those that if my wife and I were in a board game cafe, I'd probably grab it off the shelf to try and learn. We like to do the simple ones, but it's just kind of been sitting here for a while, and I need to try it. It's I know it's good. I've played the Roll and Write, which was not very good. But I know this is good. So that's number 5 for me. Look, you got an invite, Ryan, to the
Joseph
JT's inviting you. That's JT.
Nice.
Right there.
Thank you. I don't think I can get a plane ticket that I can afford, but thank you.
Yeah, just you can fly. Or you can
if anybody
drive.
wants to put their, when we're doing our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, if anybody wants to put their 5, 4, 3, 2 in the chat, we'll throw it up there with ours. So number 5. Number 5, Mariposas. We actually, so this is an interesting one, and that you'll hear this from me again. This is one that we have played. We played it in a board game cafe. We played it in a board game cafe in Jacksonville, Florida. Really cool board game cafe. Played with the whole family. Had a really good time. But we have a copy and we've never opened it.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I did not know we owned that game.
Really?
Until you just held it up. We would have already played that.
Do you want to open this?
Sure. Where
you
has
guys
it
want to
been?
go play it and I'll just finish the show?
It's been in that
I actually
stack.
really did enjoy playing this game when we played it with the kids.
It's been in that stack.
What? Well,
that's hilarious.
Hey, listen, it's not our shelf of shame, it's our floor of shame. All 4 corners of this room.
You guys go play and I'll just finish the show. It's fine.
There we go. There we go. So
there we go. Andrew's got a good one.
Record is Andrew's number 5. Record.
Stuart's got a
Stuart has Clank Acquisitions Incorporated. This is Clank Legacy.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Very good.
We need to finish that.
Yeah.
I bought that for Erin's birthday. She is a huge Clank fan.
I spent a few years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And then we played it during the pandemic and we did 6 sessions and then stopped.
We have to get back to that.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Really good. All right, number 4.
Number 4 is another classic that got re-implemented, re-impaled actually might be the better way to put it, by Games Workshop, and WizKids took it and did it all in Fury of Dracula. This game looks beautiful, but again, it's one of those, like, I know there's a learning curve for this thing.
Yes.
And the only person that's going to learn it is me.
Is you.
And then I got to teach it. And so that that starts to fall below, and you guys know this, it falls below the review copies of that other heavy game I want to play, or that other medium weight game. And before you know it, I've been sitting on this for a couple of years still in Shrink, and I'm waiting for somebody to teach it to me. The other daunting thing for this game is right up here in the, it's probably not going to show. I'll just say it. It says playtime 3 hours.
Ooh.
If a game tells you 3 hours,
well, they're being truthful. We just Beth Goodlet, so charity board gamer, Chris's wife Beth comes up and like shows us a copy of Root, and she was thinking about sitting down with the kids.
The boys
and she
were
was
with
like,
her.
"Oh, it says an hour and a half," and like, everybody at the table was like, "No, not an hour
to learn or to play." What was the?
So she was going to learn.
She was going to learn, but the playtime on it was an hour and a half.
That is not an hour and a half.
No.
So my number 4 is actually a North Star and Grana Games. This is a game that I don't even think is made anymore. Warsaw City of Ruins. This is a tile laying game where you are basically rebuilding the city of Warsaw. I've watched people play it. I really enjoy the gameplay. We both have
wanted to play this,
but we've never unwrapped
2018. We got that our first year going to Origins.
Okay,
we did. I remember.
2016 release. I was just looking at it.
So it's a really cool looking tile laying game, and I really like the city building theme and how it builds through the different time periods, and so never opened.
Yeah,
never.
Who's the designer on that?
Let's see.
Is that Philip Malinsky?
Oh, okay. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Milonsky. Yep.
Yeah, I
was gonna say
remember
probably
because I remember seeing that because my game of last year was Destiny's, and that's one
Yep.
of his games. That's his design.
Oh,
I remember,
nice.
I remember looking him up, and
Yeah.
I remember seeing that title because the Warsaw thing
Nice.
stood out. But I
Yeah.
didn't even look into it since I was like 6 years old. So
Yeah. Being of Polish descent, I should actually probably play it. So, anyway, so Stuart has Reckoners at number 4 for his.
I don't know that one.
Let's see. Taverns for the Smiths. That is a really good. Yeah, that's a really good game. That was one that Bob taught us a year and a half ago or so 2 years ago. Yep.
So to casually jump into my 3.
Taverns. Oh man, look
nice.
at that.
Okay.
Look at that.
So Origins pre-pandemic.
Okay.
Right when this came out, North Star, we went to the booth. The best booth experience as a content creator I've ever had is sitting down with Bruce, who was with North Star at the time, right?
Yep.
Bruce is hilarious. He is crass. He's funny. He is a show in himself, right? And he taught us how to play this real quick. Like, here's how it plays out. Check it out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm buying this. We can't buy it. Wait till it comes out. So it's open. It's been on my shelf. I've just never played it. I need to.
It's real good. I love how the pieces set in. They inset, and it's like the bar's changing and the seats are changing. It's just such a cool, like, it's so well made. Like just the functionality of the board and everything. It just and the pieces, you can swap out things. It's so cool. So.
And there's a sequel or an expansion, I'm sorry, coming up. It's from what I read recently, that adds like a wine bar and wine tasting. So
it's really cool.
That's my 3.
Number 3, this big joker. I had to put all these on the floor because they would crush my table.
Sad that we haven't opened that.
Near and Far. We loved Above and Below so much. We played it a bunch, and then we were like, Near and Far, we have to own it. It just came out. We're going to buy it, and it's never been opened. And it weighs 100 pounds. So some friends of ours actually bought it off of our recommendation, having not played it. They played through it, and they played it with neighbors, and they played I mean, so
they really enjoy it.
They beat you to it.
I know, really. We tell people about it, they play it. We just sit here and look at the shrink. So
that's hilarious.
Near and Far.
There's just not enough time to play all these awesome games.
That is very true. Very true.
Anybody got their number 3? So let's see.
Stuart's got a 3 up there. Stuart, such a good game. So
I have not played it.
So I am not a dudes on a map war game. It's just not my thing. But Rurik is a programming combat game, and there's just something. You're programming a deck of cards. Super smooth, super good. It's Stanley, who did Resurgence.
Oh, okay. Same. Okay. I didn't know that.
Same designer. So super solid.
That's awesome. So, all right. Number 3 is gone. Okay. Number 2.
So I have drug number 2.
Again, this is our shelf of shame if you're just joining us on the show. So these are the top 5 games we got to get off that shelf of shame.
I have drug number 2 with me to conventions, to game nights. I was just waiting for somebody to teach me this game. Derek promised he was going to teach it to me. He did not. He was a liar. But I know it's his favorite game of, I think, last year.
Mind management. Yeah.
I know I'm going to love this. Like, I have no question I'm going to love this. I just would much rather be taught this than try and teach it to a group. It just feels like it feels daunting, kind of looking through it. So mind management is my number 2, and one that, man, I'd love somebody to say, do you want to learn mind management? Because I would love to learn it.
Well, when somebody teaches it to you, you need to teach it to me, because and then just give me your copy. So
perfect.
There we go. Yeah.
I feel like Jason catching up with some of his there.
So Jason, Clank Legacy got Near and Far at number 4. Number 3 is Sleeping Gods. So my number 2 is a game that we've already talked about tonight. I own Orleans.
Still in shrink.
As soon as I learned it, I bought it off of Rick
I'm out.
because he owned it. I know. the outrage.
How
It is still
dare
in
you.
shrink. This is still in shrink, and I've only played with other people's copies, but I've owned it since
It's been
August?
a while.
August.
Oh, only August?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've owned it since
2018.
August. So, yeah, of 2018.
Have
Yeah.
I played this?
Yeah. So, you have played it.
Oh, okay.
You've played. This is
Bag-
this
the
is the
bag
fun
builder?
game that we play. This is the fun game that we play at our house. I
Have
say,
I played this?
yes. Have I played this? It's where I say, "Hey, let's play this game," and Erin says, "Have I played that?"
I
And
didn't even think about how
respond-
ridiculous that sounded because I do ask you often.
I respond with, "Yes, you've played it," and then she goes, "I don't remember
I
it."
do.
And then I go back through our list of games and I tell her the scores for all like 7 times she's played it.
Yeah.
And then
pretty
she's
much.
like, "Oh, okay.
Oh.
I must have liked it."
I do
That
keep
happens all the
notes. I keep notes in that app on games my wife likes and doesn't like, and I remember games she does and doesn't like. But there are definitely times where same question, like we haven't played that. I'm like, we played it on this date and this date.
Ooh,
This is the
I'm
date.
so glad to know I'm not the only one.
Yes, you're not the only one, and you two share the same birthday too.
Oh, that's
so
right.
it
Yeah,
might be
that's
it might be
awesome.
a birth
It's true.
thing.
It's
So-
not. I think they're just not as obsessed as we are. as the,
That's true.
They don't have
That's
they don't
true.
have a disorder like we do.
Yeah.
Jason with Aftermath as number 2 for him.
Yeah. I think Stuart
All
had
right.
a number 2 down there somewhere.
Does let's find Stewart's number 2.
It's right after. Yeah.
In
oh
Too
yeah.
Deep.
Good. Oh, so
Oof.
good.
In Too
Did
Deep.
you-
So that's
you play that?
newer. I did not, but
It
Rick
is.
played it a couple times, and so
Yeah,
for
we,
us,
we
so
we played it on TTS. I actually haven't played my physical
Mm.
copy yet. I haven't played that TTS copy, probably a year plus.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. But it's sitting over there. I'd love to get
but
to
that's not. I mean, that it hasn't been that long, so it's not. It's kind of like my Dinosaur Island Roar and Write is my sad. It's been there since Christmas, and I don't know. I opened it. I watched a video. I'm just struggling with it. So
Yeah, mine's sitting over there from Christmas. Also, my wife got it for me.
Oh
I just
yeah,
haven't
that's
played
right.
it
We
yet.
both got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of us will learn it and teach it to the other.
Perfect.
Next year.
Just in time for Origins.
Yeah. So what's your number one?
My number one has become my favorite heavy designer. I've managed to get through most of the back catalogs. I've sat down, done the grudge work to learn the ones I didn't know by
what this is gonna
myself.
be.
However, this one, and I know this is often everybody's favorite Lacerda game, but I still have yet to play. I got a 2-hand this one. Hold on.
Yeah.
Is Lisboa.
Lisboa.
I really want to play Lisboa. I'm taking it this weekend. JT is going to teach it to me, or Stuart's going to teach it to me.
That's good.
I want to learn this game. My buddy Paul, who's also going with me for this weekend, him and I kind of traded Lacerdas. Like he knew Vinos, so he taught me that, and I knew On Mars and taught him that.
Yeah.
And I would rather play On Mars because I know how to play it and I know strategy and Kanban and some of that. But man, Lisboa, I've heard nothing but great stuff. So and it weighs
if you ever have any friends that want to trade a Lacerda for like $5 or like $10, or I could trade them like a copy of Munchkin or something. I mean,
I've got a lot of Munchkin on my shelf over there. A lot. We at some point we're gonna talk about the gateway games. I think it's on our list, right? The things that got us.
It's on our list.
Munchkin.
Yep.
Do we
Munchkin
have
was
any
my
Munchkin
hobby
left?
game.
Got one there. and one
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Mhm.
I would fill I still have so much.
Oh, wow.
I was a Munchkin collector.
I stuck to three copies. So
Hold on, I'm gonna grab something while you're talking. Go ahead.
Okay.
It's just behind him.
Hey, Munchkin. Back in the day, we played.
We played a lot.
Yeah.
College students. So, but does he have the deluxe version of Munchkin or?
Kind of. Oh, just knocked a curtain down. That's not what I was doing.
Oh, it's just your wall hanging. Yeah,
it's no big deal. All right,
I'll throw
you
in.
say your number one. I'm gonna grab this thing down.
Okay, so this is my white whale, Dungeon Pets. I've talked about it multiple times. I talked to somebody about it this weekend. Dungeon Pets. This game has been in our collection for a little over 5 years.
Yeah.
And I bought this game originally to play with my daughters.
Didn't you give it to one of our daughters for Christmas?
No, I bought it for them. I bought it with the express purpose of, Emily, you are 13 years old and your sister is 10, and we're going to sit down and have a really cool gaming session where we raise monsters and clean their
I
poop."
remember this vividly.
Yeah.
You were very excited.
And I opened the box, and then I was like, oh no, this is a heavy Euro that takes 2 hours to play. My 13-year-old and 10-year-old will emancipate themselves from me. So this has never been played. So
didn't we sit down to play it? And
we've sat down
everything
twice. I've set up the board twice.
Right.
And then put it back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've done that with a few games.
And now she's in college.
And now our daughter's in college. So
there it sits.
Good night. Number one, Shadows over Camelot.
Never played it.
Never played it. I know people who have.
Oh, look at that last comment coming in.
And then Catan Starfares.
Solid.
Oh no! Oh no! We could have taught you Dungeon Pets. What?
Who wrote that?
That's Kevin.
Kevin.
Oh no!
You just broke his heart.
Okay.
They're really good. Oh man!
Oh.
Next Tantrum
Con. Kevin,
2023.
we'll be up there tomorrow night around dinner time.
You got any time?
I'll take off of work tomorrow. So.
My quick thing I want to show you, the first Origins I went to for the full week,
Yeah.
I went for the Munchkin experience. And they were doing all sorts of stuff, including they brought John Kovalik in, and he was doing custom art cards. I've got like 20. I would email, I'd mail them, I follow them at the cons. But the thing I asked him, I won a contest where I got to have dinner with him, which I was super geeked for. There's a lot more to that story to tell also. But I had my father-in-law made me this like all wooden box. This is the lid for it. Okay. And he drew this on the lid for me.
That is so cool.
My Munchkin box of Origins,
Origins
2014.
Wow.
That was my first like full week of Origins. And I still, I mean, this is it doesn't matter if I never play another game of Munchkin. Like this is, he's like, what do you want me to draw on it? I'm like, I don't care, John, whatever you want.
Yeah. I'm not the artist. You
be
are
creative. So it's always been a special piece of
that's
my
cool.
Munchkin story.
That's cool. That's really awesome.
So those are our 5. We got some good good choices from everybody else out there.
I think so. Listen, I'm going to commit myself. I'm going to commit to getting these 5 off my shelf of shame. So I'm going to do it.
You just can't move to the floor of shame.
No, they're already on the floor of shame.
I'm going to commit to some of these games getting played.
Shoot for 3. Shoot for 3.
Yeah,
see if you can do it.
I'm going to try and get a passable grade. But that would be 4, right? Because 60% wouldn't be passable.
No, not really. In some of our kids' minds, maybe, but
I should have picked small box games.
I've never played Super Mega Lucky Box. How do you play?
Speaking of things
games we're playing. So, Erin, you want to go first?
Sure.
So, Erin was prepared for this segment. So,
are Andrew and Anitra still watching?
I don't know. So, Smiths, if you're watching.
So, there was a game that I really liked about 7 or 8 years ago.
5 or 6.
5 or 6 years ago. And our son really liked it also. So we would play it together. And it's a 2-player game. And it's pretty competitive. So somewhere along the way, we let somebody borrow it.
Yep.
And people always return the games we let them borrow, always. But I don't know what happened to this one. And so we haven't had it for a few years. And I mentioned it when we were on the podcast of the Family Gamers. So they came out to spend some time with us a few weekends ago. And they bought me Onitama for my birthday.
Yes, it is so good.
Are you familiar with this game, Isaac?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I love it.
So it's sort of chess-like, and you have your master and your students, and you're trying to get your master onto the other person's side. And you can only move in the directions that the card tells you to move. You get to choose between 2 cards. And so I love the strategy of this game. I like to win at this game.
It's fun.
And it's 2-player. And I like that Josiah likes it a lot too.
Yeah, I think that's that you know, when you're talking about your kids enjoying a game and enjoying sitting down and having that quality time, you can't beat that.
Sure.
So thankfully we have a copy of Onitama now. Thank you, Smith family.
Yes.
And you also notice that she's using the headphones.
Oh yes, they also bought me these because Ryan and I had to share
her other pair of headphones
previously.
It looked like a bunch of middle schoolers.
Last
trying
podcast we
to
did together, he had one side, I had the other. It was
so pathetic.
It's funny because I saw you guys with two, and I thought, if my wife comes on here, we're gonna have to do the thing like this. Only because I'm like, how do I plug two headphones in this laptop?
Oh, we got a little splitter. So Walmart, a little,
and it's pink. So we have pink, neon green, and teal.
Yeah,
the stuff that doesn't get on the camera, right? That's
exactly.
So what you been playing?
I got a couple. I got a couple here. One of them I mentioned, small box, is Six Nimit. I've been playing quite a bit of this. Erin, have you played Six Nimit before?
I have not.
So it's quick. It's 104 cards, numbered 1 to 104, and you create 4 rows, 4 rows with starter cards of one of those 4, and each card, pulling out, has these little skulls, these little cow heads on them, and you don't want cow heads. You start with 66 points, and if you collect cards with cow heads, they subtract from your 66. First player who gets down to 0 kicks at the end of the game, and whoever has the most points wins. You're randomly playing cards into these rows, and the numbers go sequentially depending on where they fit. And when it hits 5 cards, it's a full row. When it hits 6, you have to pick it up. And then that's how you're getting the negatives. So it's a really good, like, oh, look at what happened to that guy. Like, I didn't expect this. And it plays 4 to 10, or it plays 2 to 10 players.
Oh wow, that's good.
And it was just as much. It really was fun at 2. I played it at 2 just to get a feel for it.
Yeah.
So it's such a fun little game.
That's cool.
That is
easy, $15 game, easy to add into a collection, and great for college students.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those little card games are so good.
Yeah.
So, taught my family Coup. It's been years since I played Coup, but this is the version of the deluxe version from Brazil that is illustrated by, of course, my favorite, Weberson Santiago. Fantastic artist. Love him. And so I love this version of Coup, and it's so good. Taught my parents how to play it, taught my mom how to play, taught my brother and sister-in-law how to play, taught the kids, taught Erin, and we played this game for like 4 days straight.
Oh yeah.
Like every time we got together, we played 3 games.
Yeah.
And so they had a Coup tournament, which I think Daniel from Charity Board Gamer won the Coup tournament.
He did.
Kids Coup tournament.
He got a trophy.
Awesome. Coup is so good. So
I did
good.
get that right.
Yeah.
The same guy who did Bloody End.
Yep, Weberson. Yep. Yeah. So very good.
Yeah, that's a good game. I mean, it's a good social deduction. It's a good everyone at the table, right? Because it plays same thing, right? It's a high player count for
plays 6. Yeah, plays 6. It's not crazy deduction. It's not. So yeah. Even people who aren't a huge fan, you're not a fan of deduction games.
I was about to say I don't like deduction games, but this is fast and quick, and I like that people lie in it and trying to figure it out.
That's true.
I don't like deduction games, Erin. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I got another topic idea though. Our least favorite mechanics, but our favorite game in it.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Because I don't like deduction, but I got like a game or 2 of deduction I'll play.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
so you got one more game?
I do. Yeah, it's just got advanced copy. Wanted to introduce this. I played about three times now. Is the new Libertalia, the Winds of Galecrest. I saw your pictures of this. You guys got a chance to play this also? Is that right?
Yeah. Carly Reinhardt of Gnarly Carly Games showed us how to play. And
I didn't get to try that one.
You didn't? No, you did. You were you went to grab some groceries for us, and so I sat down and played with Joe Chambers, and might I suggest? So we all played and had a really good time with it. So it's interesting. There's things I like about it and things I don't like about it. I would definitely play it again though. So
have you played the original?
I played the original last week with Bob. He taught me how on BGA. Yep.
How did you like the original?
I think I like the original slightly better, but I wish that the components in this one were in the original. So,
Sure.
yeah, it makes
There's
sense.
parts of this game, and I'm going to write up kind of a comparison of what's new and what I like. I liked the original enough. My wife did not like the original, like at
Okay.
all.
Okay.
And so at some point I moved that copy in the recent past, got this one, introduced this one to her. She wasn't a fan. And I said, okay, well, it doesn't surprise me. It's doing some of the same stuff.
Yeah.
But I think what Jamie's got on his hands is a game that people love, that he's re-implemented. He's doing some different stuff. The tracker, the reputation tracker is super solid as far as moving ties. The artwork is more whimsical, where the original was like down and dirty pirate kind of artwork. So I think it's got a broader catch of people that are going to be more comfortable with this artwork, style. The tiles are great. Tiles are like straight out of
amazing.
School,
Love it.
Like and it plays pretty smooth and quick. There are some pieces that, like you said, I think I was actually talking with Derek over at One Board Family, and he's going to modify because it's his game.
We're One Board Family.
I'm sorry. Game of
Board Game Spotlight.
Board Game Spotlight. Gosh dang it. It's
all good.
It's been a long time.
It's all good.
Board Game Spotlight. Derek and Lizzie had played it. I think they're live streaming it, I want to say tomorrow. Okay. But there's things you could do that I think would improve this. Just basic ways you could play it different. But overall, I think he's got a game that people are going to enjoy. Yeah. But if you're looking for original Libertalia, this isn't it. It's a different game.
Yeah. I think I connected with the original a little more just playing it online than I did with the new version. I did not care for the artwork on the new version, but I do like some of the changes, reputation tracker, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's what I feel like, Anitra.
Yeah. So, Board Game Spotlight, One Board Family, Game of Sight.
Yeah, for real. That's what I was thinking too.
It's like when you call all of the kids, it's like, Josiah, Sam, Ken,
Sam
Erin
is our dog.
Yeah, Sam's our dog.
That happens.
One board gaming Spotlight family sidekick gamers, right? That's them.
So, good stuff.
All right, what else you got?
Last one, Mountains Out of Molehills. This is a new one from the op. This one, you'll see a review for this next week. This is a really cool game. It is a double layered, it's a dual tiered board game. I'm going to expand my window here. Perfect. It's 2-layer board game right there. 2 levels. Your moles are moving underneath the ground, and what's happening is you're bumping up the molehills from the bottom up. And so scoring is really interesting in this one because you are actually scoring points based on what player pieces at the bottom of the hill, what player pieces at the bottom of the mountain. And so you have to, it's a programming game, but there's also so many things you can do. You can place a rock to kind of disrupt somebody's movement. You can also come up behind them and take all their points away. There are some big swings in the game. It's really fun.
A lot of disappointment when you planned out your movement and then somebody moves right in front of you and blocks you and you can't do anything.
Yeah. It's funny. So it's Mountains Out of Molehills is going to get a really good review from us. We really enjoyed it. I taught it to Chris Goodlett and Joe Chambers at Tantrum Con, and we had a blast with it, even though I lost so badly.
We are going to modify it a little bit. I'm going to.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to buy one of those lights that you just.
Oh, yeah, a little tap light.
And I'm going to install it up under the bottom of the second level so you can actually see that.
So we're having some issues with I
can feel that.
You can't, because it's a dark brown, like dirt board. You can't see the middle of the board because there's shadows. There's shadows all in the middle of the board. So it's really rough. Like, unless you have lighting from the sides.
Well, you could probably just set up your flashlight on your side.
Yeah. I also thought about putting some like neon washi tape or something to show the grid. That might actually work. But it's really, really good.
It's a lot of fun.
Really like it. So
it's kind of like was it Holly, right? Does the tier boards.
Holy, yeah.
Holy, sorry, but that one's, those are see-through, so you've got a less of the dark issue.
Yep. So Family Gamers in the chat. Yep.
Oh, he's finishing his
okay.
list.
He's coming back in with the list.
Come on, you haven't played Sorcerer City,
Rewind.
Andrew.
Sorcerer City. I
It's
haven't
so
played
good.
Sorcerer City.
Oh, it's so good. It's one of my wife's favorites.
I hate the color scheme in that game. Like,
what is the color scheme?
I dislike that color scheme.
Very bright.
Bright.
Nope.
Okay.
It's
bright primaries, secondaries.
the wrong
I love
colors.
it.
Okay.
Nah,
So
you're wrong.
Huh.
It's okay. to be wrong.
Altiplano.
Never
And
heard of
then,
that one.
this is super disappointing,
Altiplano.
Andrew. Gizmos.
Oh, we love
Come
gizmos.
on. We love gizmos.
I've never
Interesting
played
story. Interesting story. I hated gizmos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why did we buy it?
So Sarah Meadows actually taught us how to play gizmos at our very first Origins. She was working with Simon as teacher. She taught us gizmos. Mm-hmm. She did a great job teaching, being very clear. Sarah Meadows, great teacher. Yeah. Gizmos was terrible to me. Like, I hated that game. And then I played it again later in the week, and I was like, I actually like this a lot. And I think it was the setting. I think there was too much noise. I don't know that I understood it, like why I was doing what I was doing. And then we eventually bought it and we played all the time.
Well, to reiterate about Tantrum Con, when you're being taught a game there, you can actually hear what's being taught to you, and you're not overwhelmed by all the stimulation going on everywhere around you. Whereas at the bigger conventions, it's so hard to pay attention because it's incredibly loud. There are games being taught all around you. You're squeezed into a tight space. It's just it's a little harder to focus and learn a new game.
Especially if you're squeezed into somebody's booth with, people trying to learn a game and feel so overwhelmed. I said Andrew caught it. I don't know if you did. I have also
no, I didn't. Oh, really? What?
Wow.
Come on.
We've got like 2 or 3 families that, around here, we all have a lot of games, but there's some that miss all of our collections. And if it misses all of our collections,
it's a really good engine builder.
It is. It's one that we bring out periodically. We've had it for a while. Yeah.
So,
and Altiplano is on my shelf. I played it once and I said, I'll stick with Orleans. It's very similar.
That's what we've heard.
I'd much rather play Orleans. It was fine, but it was too similar for me to want to play it.
Makes sense. Man, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Erin, for coming on the show. Thank you, everybody, for commenting and giving your list. This was a lot of fun. Like, tons of interaction. Yeah, definitely. So this is what it's about. I mean, it's literally called the game chat, but only like 3 minutes in when I remembered which background I was supposed to put up. So
I didn't even notice that.
Prior, it was just One Board Family. So. It's okay. It was our game night background. So anyway, we're One Board Family. Find us at oneboardfamily.com. You can find content there. I'm working on my spring gaming list because we're about to be in spring. Every couple of Marches, I get out there and talk about some flower games and some bug games and stuff that you should definitely have in your collection. So Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all the stuff at One Board Family.
What's the YouTube matchup this week?
YouTube matchup. Night. So so Friday Night Fight, we've actually been out of it for the past couple weeks. Oh, actually, can you grab that board? So actually the past couple of weeks we've been kind of lax because we've just had stuff going on, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up a match, probably record ahead of time. But I want to shout out to Tater Tots, Taylor, Keith Hood in the community, in Facebook, Unmatched community. These are some custom boards that he made. Wow. So we'll actually put them in the show notes. These are custom boards that he made, play tested with people, and we're going to actually play one of these custom made boards, on our next episode.
That's awesome. That probably would have been in my top 5 if I owned it, but I've never played Unmatched either.
Unmatched is amazing. So
sometime. And you can find us over at everything at Game of Sidekicks, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the TikToks. Find us over there making videos, silly videos, fun stuff. Join us over at our Game of Sidekicks board game community page on Facebook, where we have some fun discussion, different topics. We threw out this shelf of shame question, and Stuart had the best answer. He said all of them. So
all of them.
He's got some games to play. He's got young kids. It's okay.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, this has been fun. We're going to try to plow through our shelf of shame this year, and so see how far we get into it. So all right,
sounds good.
That'll do it. See you later.
Sir.
Thanks for hanging out. All right,
Yes,
see you.
sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.